Hello, and welcome to Writing Tips with Rachel. Today I'm examining what it will take to write during these book banning days. We're in a strange time as writers. Censorship is happening everywhere. I have friends in the author world who are getting disinvited from schools because of books they've written. For authors who write for young people, school visits are a big part of their livelihood. I have a manuscript I've had to put aside for another time. And we hope there will be another time when book banning doesn't cast such a large shadow over everything. Of course, there have been times throughout history when censorship and book banning has happened, just not quite in this volume and with such vigor and glee. As writers, all this censorship can rightfully make us feel unsettled and uneasy for our books that are out in the world and the books we have yet to write. Or maybe we're already facing a ban. If so, I'm sorry. How do we write in times like this when it feels like everything is so dangerous to explore? How do we keep going with any kind of confidence? Because it's not like writers are the most confident people in the first place. Well, here are my best tips for writing during book banning days. Number 1, be as courageous as you can. It takes courage to speak up and write about tough topics, to write about our lives with truth and honesty. Hear this. We don't always have to be courageous. It's okay to take some time to regroup, to settle inside yourself, to write something fun that doesn't trigger the book banning police. You are okay. Take as long as you need in this no-pressure space. Sometimes it takes a long time to gather courage. You will. Give yourself time. You won't stay there forever because something will press itself upon your heart and you will have to write it. Number 2, lean into your community. Even though many writers are solitary people, we can't do any of this alone, especially during book banning days. Surround yourself with people who support you and your work and who understand what it's like to put yourself out there. It's a vulnerable place to be. We need support through this vulnerability. If you don't have a writing community, look for it in writing organizations like your local Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators, or the Romance Writers of America, or Mystery Writers of America, or the Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers Association, or websites like Writer Unboxed or Writer's Digest. There are all kinds of groups that can provide community and support during such shaky times. Even your local library can have small writers groups where you can lean on other people who understand what it's like to be a writer. Authors Against Book Bans is a group of authors standing against censorship, and it too is a powerful and supportive community. Sometimes it's more difficult to act with courage and conviction when we stand alone. Together, we're so much stronger. So be sure to find your people and lean into them when the going gets hard. Number 3, remember, your story matters. The voices of censorship are loud. They can make us feel like we should just sit down and shut up, that what we write is unnecessary, unwanted, and unneeded. I like to believe that if a story presses itself into our hearts, if it demands or politely asks to be written, it's because someone somewhere needs it. Maybe it's us, but more likely, it's others too. Those censorship voices can invalidate our stories, steal our courage, press us into a tight box that stifles our movement. I want us to remember that every story is valuable, and only you can tell yours the way it needs to be told. There are people out in the world who desperately need it, so don't stop telling it. These are interesting, trying times for writers. But throughout history, writers have used their voices to build a better world. I hope that's what we do with ours. That's it for today's Writing Tips with Rachel. I hope this video has been helpful to you. I'd love to know what you're doing to write during book banning days. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for videos about books and life and more videos like this. And sign up for my newsletter at racheltolson.com for inspiration, book recommendations, news, and writing prompts. Stay strong, and see you next time.